Hello my very good friends. On today's enthralling installment of comic book news, DC brings back a classic Batman title. The X-Men go corporate and the heroes of Milestone Comics make their triumphant return. All that plus, DC celebrates Asian Heritage Month, the Guardians of the Galaxy roster blossoms, and Zack Snyder offers up a new look at his director's cut for Justice League. So, let's get on with it then. I'm Henry, and this is the news. Alright, first off, DC is bringing back a classic Batman series with the return of Legends of the Dark Knight. Now, the book is an anthology series, which means that every story will be written and drawn by a new creative team. The first story will be written and drawn by Derek Robertson, and then future issues will feature the likes of Becky Cloonan, Matthew Rosenberg, Stephanie Phillips, Brandon Thomas, and more. The book is available starting in April on digital platforms and then in May for a physical edition. I'm really excited that Legends of the Dark Knight is back. I think it has historically always been a really fun series to follow, both to keep up with new creative voices, but also to get just some really knockout stories featuring some great characters that don't always fit into the main Batman series. I think it should be really cool to see what this new book offers, and I already know that I'm excited because a lot of the creators that they've lined up for this series are voices that I really like in comics and creators I'm really interested to read. So I think it's going to be pretty cool, and I'm really curious to see how the book performs. Milestone Comics is finally coming back in a couple weeks with the release of Milestone Returns Infinite Edition. This special digital one-shot serves as the launch point for the new line of digital miniseries that DC Comics will be publishing in the following months, starring the heroes of the Milestone Comics universe. Spearheaded by original Milestone Media founder Dennis Cohen and writer Reginald Hudlin, this new line of books will feature multiple miniseries starring different characters, starting with a static miniseries launching in April. Then, in June, there will be a new Icon and Rocket miniseries, followed by a hardware miniseries starting in August. I am really excited for this line of books. I love the Milestone Comics heroes, and Static Shock was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid, so I'm really excited that after like 9 years, he's finally going to be back in comics. It should be really cool, and there's a lot of information for this line of books, so I've included a link to DC's blog post about this in the bio of this video. I can't wait for it. The designs from Nicholas Draper Ivy look super cool, and I know that this is going to be a big hit with fans. The X-Men are putting on their best business attire in the pages of X-Corp, a brand new ongoing series starting this May. Written by Tini Howard with art by Alberto Focci, this new series follows Angel and Monet St. Croix as they assemble a new team of X-Men to help mutant kind achieve their dreams while looking out for their financial security. This concept was teased last year in the Empire X-Men miniseries, also written by Tini Howard, but they had to kind of put this book on the back burner because of Tini Howard's commitment to the Ten of Swords crossover event that dominated the line of X-Men books last year. I'm pretty excited for this, actually. I think it should be really cool to examine this practical side of the X-Men, and these are two characters, Angel and Monet, that don't always get to, take center stage, so it's going to be really cool to see what Tini Howard does with them. Also, she's been doing such a great job with Excalibur that I know this book is going to be one to watch out for. The world's greatest heroes have to put aside their differences one last time to save the planet in the pages of Justice League Last Ride. Written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Miguel Mendoza, this new series takes place in a future where Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman have lost faith in one another after a terrible tragedy struck at the heart of the Justice League. But when the planet is put to peril once more, they will have to reunite to save the day. Admittedly, I feel like I've read a lot of comic books where the Justice League broke up only to get back together, stronger than ever, saving the day. But if anybody's going to sell me on this concept, it's going to be Chip Zdarsky and Miguel Mendoza. Mendoza's been one of my favorite artists the last few years, and I loved his work on Aquaman, so I'm always excited to read new comics with his art. And Chip Zdarsky has been on fire, delivering some just tremendous comics. Honestly, everything he's written has been really great. So the two of them doing a Justice League story sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm actually pretty excited for this one. May is Asian Heritage Month, and DC is celebrating with the release of DC Festival of Heroes, the Asian Superhero Celebration. Now, this special one-shot is an anthology featuring creators and characters of Asian heritage. So that means we're going to get to see stories about Cassandra Cain and Damian Wayne and Katana and Lady Shiva and Omak and the Atom from the likes of Greg Pak and Amy Chu and Jinlan Yang and Ram V and Francis Manapul and Marcus Toe and Bernard Chang. So it's going to be really cool just to see all of these tremendous creators telling stories about often neglected characters. I think it sounds like an awesome opportunity to really expose a lot of new readers to these characters that they might not be aware of, and honestly, I'm hoping for an appearance by Grace Choi if I'm not being too greedy there, because she's a favorite character of mine. So yeah, I think this book is going to be really cool, and I'm really glad to see that DC is producing a comic like this. Batman is no longer the Dark Knight. Well, kind of. DC has announced that the Batman The Dark Knight series that was going to be coming out in April is now being retitled as Batman the Detective. This book features an older, grizzled Bruce Wayne, and DC didn't officially say why they wanted to change the title of the book, but you know, there's another famous book with the Dark Knight in it that's about an older, grizzled Bruce Wayne. That's The Dark Knight Returns. So they probably changed the title of this book so it wouldn't get too confusing for a consumer who might think that this is like a prequel book. I thought it might be a prequel book, so I am one of those confused people. I'm pretty excited for this book, actually, because it's Tom Taylor and Andy Kubert telling stories of Batman running across Europe trying to solve a mystery, and now that I know that it's not leading into The Dark Knight Returns, I'm actually kind of more curious to see where they go with it, so it should be pretty cool. DC commemorates the historic legacy of one of the most important heroes this June with the release of the Green Lantern John Stewart, a celebration of 50 years, hardcover. Now this book is a compilation that features various comics that have come out since John Stewart's debut in 1971. Originally created by Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams, John Stewart was the first major black character created by DC Comics and has gone on to be in a number of very important comic books, many of which are featured here. So we're going to be getting issues of Green Lantern and Justice League of America, but what I think is really cool is that this book also features essays from the likes of Neil Adams, his co-creator, as well as John Ridley and Jeff Johns, and voice actor Phil LaMarr, who famously played him on the Justice League animated series. John Stewart is an incredibly important character to the general tapestry of the DC universe, and also just for black superheroes being represented in major media. This was kind of a big deal back in the day, and I'm really glad that DC is putting this book out there to celebrate this incredible legacy. The Guardians of the Galaxy roster is going to be growing substantially with the release of Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 13 due out this April, which serves as a celebration of 175 issues of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. Now, we already knew that Wiccan and Hulkling would be joining the team, but now we also know that Doctor Doom, the Super Skrull, Mantis, and two different incarnations of Quasar are going to be joining the team. Now, that's kind of crazy, Doctor Doom joining the Guardians of the Galaxy, but what might be even crazier is that now there are going to be 17 different members on the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is actually really awesome. One of my favorite periods of the Guardians of the Galaxy book was when they had like 15 members, 20 members on the team during the Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning run, and this seems reminiscent of that, so I'm really excited. The teaser art by Brett Booth shows off some really cool matching designs for most of these characters, and I'm just really excited. I've been loving the Guardians of the Galaxy book for the last year or so since Al Ewing took over the property, and I can't wait to see what they do to bring in 175 issues. Even superheroes need a break sometimes, and it looks like one in particular is going to be getting it this May with the release of the Stargirl Spring Break Special. Try saying that 3 times fast. It's not easy. Now, this is a special one-shot that is a double-sized issue written by Jeff Johns with art by Todd Knock, and features Stargirl as she teams up with Stripe and the 7 Soldiers of Victory to find the mysterious 8th Soldier of Victory. I think it's really fun that DC is putting out this one-shot. I'd imagine that it's going to be pretty new reader friendly, but also great for long-term fans of the Stargirl character, whether you read her original series or her appearances in JSA. I'm really happy that Todd Knock is doing the art for this book as well. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen him drawing anything for DC, and his art always has a certain quality that captures kind of that Silver Age atmosphere that I find so charming about a lot of DC characters. I think this book is really great, and I'm pretty excited for it. Marvel is teasing the return of the classic Defenders via a promotional image from artist Javier Rodriguez. Now, in this image, we see Doctor Strange and the Masked Rider as they stare at a deck of tarot cards adorned with the faces of various members of the Defenders. This is a tease. We don't really know anything about the book, but I know that I'm excited because I love the Defenders, and I would love to see their classic incarnation come back. A couple years ago, Marvel ran a series of one-shots called Defenders, the Best Defense, but they were one-shots that built one story. They weren't actually a team book. So it's been like 15 years since we've actually seen the original Defenders in a book together. So I don't know what to expect from this, but I imagine we're going to find out some new information pretty soon, and I'm really excited to see where this could go. The final issue of Steve Orlando's Man-Thing trilogy has been revealed with the announcement of X-Men: Curse of the Man-Thing. Now, this Curse of the Man-Thing series is unfolding over 3 different one-shots, starring the Avengers, Spider-Man, and now the X-Men. This issue will be drawn by Andrea Briccardo and features the weirdest team of X-Men I've probably ever seen, as Magic leads Marrow and Mammomax and Forearm and Wolf Cub and Shark Girl as they team up with Man-Thing. I think this book sounds awesome. The more I hear about this Curse of the Man-Thing book, the more excited I get, and this is seriously like the weirdest team of X-Men I've ever seen, and that's really saying something. I'm pretty excited for it. The series starts next month, and this issue with the X-Men will be coming out in May. AfterShock Comics have announced a new series called Silver City coming out this May. The book is being written by Olivia Cortero Briggs and features the art of Luca Merli and follows a young roughneck who wakes up in the purgatorial metropolis of the afterlife. Once there, she has to find out how and why she died and what the secret is surrounding the new mysterious powers that she has gained through death. The premise sounds really cool, and I'm confident in AfterShock's continued ability to find unique voices in comics that end up being really strong. I'm very curious about this book, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out. Disney has announced that they'll be shutting down Blue Sky Studios, the animation production company behind movies such as Ice Age and Rio. While the closing is sad in of itself, it's particularly sad because it means the production has officially ended on Nimona, an upcoming movie that was set to come out next year based on the Noelle Stevenson webcomic of the same name. The book has won many awards and is known for its positive representation of gender fluidity. This would have been a massive step forward for mainstream acceptance of gender fluidity, and I'm really sad that this one isn't coming out. Hopefully there's some way that they can salvage some of the production, but that will remain to be seen. Disney showed off a new trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier during the Super Bowl, giving us our first in-depth look at what we can expect for the series. Sure, we had a teaser trailer before, but now we have an idea of what the central conflict is going to be, as well as what the character dynamics are going to be like between Falcon and Bucky. I am really excited for the show because Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan have been two of my favorite actors in the MCU, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them go toe-to-toe with Baron Zemo. I always liked Baron Zemo in the comics a lot, and I liked him in Captain America Civil War, and I love that he's going to be wearing a new comic book accurate outfit for this new show, what they showed off in the trailer and really showed off in the new poster. I can't wait for it, and I'm really looking forward to March 19th when it debuts on Disney+. And in our last little piece of news for this week, Zack Snyder keeps posting teases for his upcoming director's cut of Justice League, coming to HBO Max on March 18th. Now, these teasers have shown us a lot of new things, including Jared Leto's Joker, Superman in his black costume, Darkseid, and even Granny Goodness. Plus, on Valentine's Day, he gave us a new trailer for the movie and what we can expect to see. I'm filming this before that though, so I'm just going to insert in here a quick little reaction of what I thought. Okay, so that is what I thought, apparently. I've actually been working my way through all of the DCEU movies and the different versions and the different cuts of different films in anticipation for Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you'd like to see me talk about any of that stuff on here, let me know. I've actually been thinking about doing some movie-related content, and maybe this would be a great opportunity, but I want to make sure that you'd be interested, so just drop me a comment if you are. So that's it. Tell me, what was your favorite story that I talked about this week? Let me know in the comments section below, and we can have a fun little chat about comic books. And while you're at it, can you please like this video and share with your friends so they too can enjoy the goodness of comic book news. And since you're already running around and clicking all those different buttons, click subscribe and sign up for notifications so you stay up to date whenever I post a new video. And if you are so inclined, you could follow me across social media at A White Cuban, where I will continue to talk about comics and whatever is going on in my day-to-day life. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me, and I've been having a lot of fun making them. And I will be back next week with more comic book news.